So first of all, congratulations to that project. To be honest, I haven't seen nothing so far. It's all confidential, I guess. So could you a little bit explain to our audience what can we expect?
So, A Perfect Match is a fictional take on Steffi Graf and Andre Agassi and their relationship when they first met, and how their relationship grew over the space of a few years, and then how they ended up together. So it shows kind of their two lives parallel next to each other. It shows her life from the moment she was a kid training, and him too, and it shows them kind of grow to become the superstars that they are. And it's a romance movie. It's a nice movie about two fascinating people who were incredibly gifted, worked incredibly hard since they were kids, and found escapism, or found an escape in meeting each other.
Okay, so that was exactly my next question. How is the tone of the show? Is it more dramatic? You just said it's romantic. And my question is it also a little bit comedy? And I asking that because of Michael Kessler, who plays Steffi's father. It's a very, very famous and big comedian here in the German-speaking area. So how would you describe the tone of the show?
I guess you could say it's like a romantic comedy, like a rom-com. So there are certainly elements of comedy that run throughout the film, and there's a lot of romance. It's about the two of these people coming together, and it shows their relationships with other people that they were with, but they end up together, and so it's a happy story based on their lives.
Okay. Were Steffi Graf and Andre Agassi involved in the production in any way, or is this show completely independent?
I believe they were from Lena and Florian, the director. I know that they had inquired, I believe, as to whether they would want to be involved with it or so. And I think that they live very private lives, but they gave their blessing for the project, and they wished us the best of luck.
Okay. What does that role mean to you in your career?
To play Andre Agassi. Well, he's an icon, a real character, but there's a huge amount of, from what I've learned of Andre Agassi, a lot of depth to him. He's gone through so much, or has gone through so much in his life, and constantly. I read his book. I don't know if you've read his book. Open is an amazing kind of telling of his life, and he talks about how much he loves tennis, how much he hates tennis, how much he loves tennis, how much he hates tennis, and clearly, I wouldn't say born with a gift. I'd say that he worked incredibly hard to be as good as he was, and there were so many things going on in his life, so it was an incredible character study, really, in playing him, and a wonderful opportunity to learn about someone very special.
How did you prepare for the role? How have you transformed to Agassi? A lot of tennis lessons, maybe?
So the first thing I did is I read his book a couple of times, and then I watched as many interviews with him as possible, and then I had some tennis lessons. But obviously, I in my tennis lessons focused on where he stood on the court, how he held his racket, the little movements he made, as opposed to learning how to play tennis like Andre Agassi. I learned some things like the style of his backhand. But it was really about trying to mimic the things that we could mimic within the time that we had. No one, even if you were an extremely brilliant tennis player would be able to pull off looking exactly like Andre Agassi. The same with Steffi Graf. So we had to manage, our expectations in terms of the amount of time that we had, and focus on things that we really could get to look like him. So I did have a few lessons, and most of those lessons were about looking at the small things that he did. So, when the camera looks down, looks at his hand, or looks at his feet on the court, or the way he walks, and all those kind of mannerisms.
Speaking about the look, here is a picture, and I told to my staff, believe it or not, this is not the real Andre and the real Steffi. So that is Toby and Lena. What about the hair? To be honest, you look very different now.
Yes, I know. Well, my hair, we had a wig, obviously. So I had, throughout the filming, I had either a wig or I had it shaved. And the wig was a lot of fun to wear. I mean, it really felt like I became him. I became someone else from the moment it went on in the makeup chair. Took about an hour to put on, and it was also very hot in the middle of Rome. But being able to make those kind of adjustments in costume and makeup and hair was a great, I suppose, vehicle to get me into the character.
Was that the biggest challenge, or were there other challenges in that project?
There were challenges every day. I think some of the most challenging stuff was actually dealing with the heat and playing some of the tennis days. I was shooting some of the tennis days. We had something like on average, I think there was a week where it was between 42 and 44 degrees heat. And, in the middle of the countryside in Italy, playing tennis, that was the biggest challenge.
And obviously, you have to do this outside, so there's no indoor matches, I guess.
No, precisely, yes, all outside.
Okay, perfect. So what do you wish for the show?
Well, I hope that people enjoy the movie, first of all. I hope that if Steffi Graf or Andre Agassi do ever see it, that they like it and they think that they are relatively true takes on them. I hope that people enjoy it. That's the most important thing. It was a lot of fun to film, and if people enjoy it, then we've succeeded.
Perfect. Toby, thank you so much talking to us again. Congratulations. I couldn't wait to see the whole thing, and I hope we can talk very soon for another project. All the best for you.
Bye. Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you. Bye.
Bye.